So you need to create a column and place labels for the upper and lower surfaces. You're going to place labels at the top of each column for X and Y. The physical model will be about approximately 4 inches. Therefore, the data must be scaled by a factor of 4. We're going to create 2 columns labeled X scale and Y scale, and we will use a formula to scale that data. So starting off, I already downloaded and opened up the file from Airfoil, from the NASA Airfoil simulator. So I'm going to start off. I'm going to click on where the A is. It's going to be green. I'm going to click. So I highlight that whole column. I'm then going to right click and choose Insert. It's going to give me a blank column. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and click where it says upper surface. Just click once. And I'm going to do a Control X, and you'll see the line start kind of blinking around it. That means I've cut it. Now I'm going to go back over to 1A. I'm going to click. I'm going to do Control V. I've moved that title over, that label over from 1B to 1A. I'm going to go down to line 22. I'm going to notice my mouse is on, my cursor is on 22, so it's green. I'm going to right click. It will highlight that entire row. I'm going to go down and click Insert. This is going to put an empty row between my upper and my lower surface numbers. So now, just like I did with the upper surface, I'm going to go down to my lower surface label. I'm going to click. I'm going to do Control X on my keyboard. I'm going to go over to 23A or A23. Click. Do Control V from the keyboard. I've now moved my labels over to that column. Then you can notice they kind of run over the column space. So I'm going to go back up to A, and I'm going to highlight that column again. I'm going to go up here on the toolbar where it says Format. I'm going to click on that arrow, and I'm going to go down to where it says Auto Fit Column Width. When I do that, now my words fit nicely into that column. Okay, so we've got the labels. We've got the column labels for the upper and lower surface. Now we need to change these labels here to say X and Y, not X/C, Y/C. So I'm just going to click in there, and then I will just hit backspace to get rid of the C and the slash. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to click so that my cursor is blinking. Backspace 2. Now I have an X and a Y. We do not need this data for P and V. So I'm just going to go on up here to where the D is. I'm going to click. I'm going to drag over so that both D and E are highlighted. Then I can let go of my mouse, and I can hit delete on my keyboard. All that data is now gone. Okay, next thing we need to do is create 2 columns labeled X scale and Y scale. So I'm going to leave column D blank just to give us some room between our data. In E2, I'm going to click, and I'm going to type X scale. Then I'm going to tab over. Now I'm going to do Y scale. Oops. There. Now we have our labels for our X scale and Y scale. Now this is where the tricky part comes in, because now we need to have these columns multiply these by 4 and give us the numbers so that we don't have to sit there and do each one. So what we are going to do in E3, we're going to click the equal sign. Then we are going to got the equal sign. Then we're going to click on this first bit of data here at B3. Notice it went ahead and put B3 into our cell over here. Now I'm going to hit the asterisk key, so I'm going to do Shift 8, which will give me the asterisk. Oh, I forgot one thing. Then let me back out of here. Okay, let me back out because I forgot something. Okay, over here, I have to type, I'm going to make a new column called constant, new heading called constant. And over here, I'm going to just put the number 4. Remember we said we had to scale these up by 4. So that's going to be our constant that we use. Now let's go back here. In the X scale, I'm in E3. I'm going to click equals. I'm going to click on B3. It brought over the B3 here. Now I'm going to do Shift 8, so I have my asterisks. Now I'm going to go over here to H3 where I wrote in my number 4. I'm going to click there. Notice it copied the location of that cell over. What I need to do now is carefully click so that I have my cursor before the H. I'm going to do a $sign. And then I'm going to put my cursor between the H and the 3 and put another $sign. Now I'm going to click enter. It calculated negative 0.51 times 4, which would be negative 2.04. Now, does that mean we have to do that formula for every single one of these? No. What we're going to do, see down here, there's a little green square in the corner, in the bottom right corner. We're going to click on that green square, and then we're going to drag this down all the way to the last bit of our data, which is going to be E21. And then we'll let go, and it will automatically populate all of that information. And so that is our X scale information right here. Now we need to do the same thing for Y. So in Y, we're going to hit, F3, we're going to do equals. We're going to click on C3. We're going to do Shift 8 for our asterisks, and then click on H3. We're going to go in and put our $signs in there. Remember, a $sign before the H and a $sign after the H. And then we can click enter. And it came up with a 0 because 0 times 4 equals 0. Go back up. We find that green box at the bottom again. Click and drag down. Now we're going to do the same thing for our lower surface. And so I'm going to click here at E24. I'm going to put in my equal sign. I'm going to click on B24. Then I'm going to do Shift 8 for my asterisks. Click on H3. Put in my $signs. And hit enter. I'm going to go on up, and I'm going to copy that information down. Remember I said my information is going to be identical because that's just the way my data turned out. Yours may be, but it probably will not. Okay, then we have one more to do. We have to go over here to the lower surface Y scale, equal sign, click on C24, Shift 8, H3, put in our $signs, hit enter, and then go back up, click on it, and then just drag that information down. There we go. That is what you need for step 5.